preparing to take probably the most vital kick of his career. Schwarzer on the line. Fowler comes up. Fowler, Mark Schwarzer's in! Get in, you big Aussie!
Mark Schwarzer's dramatic penalty save at Manchester City on the final day of the previous season meant that Boro could spend the summer planning for the new campaign that would see European football once more at the Riverside Stadium. Steve McLaren looked to add extra firepower to the squad for the demanding schedule that would lie ahead and invested £7.5 million in one of the brightest young strikers in the Premiership. Yakubu had painfully shown Mac what he was capable of as he hit 4 goals past the Boro in the final game of season 2003-2004 at Fratton Park, and from that moment on, the 22-year-old Nigerian international was on the manager's shopping list. Yakubu became the first summer signing in May and declared his ambition by stating that he wanted to become the top striker in the world. Boro had clearly acquired the services of a striker who was going places. McLaren then switched attention from attack to defence, and Austrian international Emmanuel Pogatetz, who had played well against the Boro whilst on loan with Graz in the UEFA Cup, was signed from Bayer Leverkusen for £1.8 million. There was, however, a complication, as Pogatetz had been sent off whilst on loan at Spartak Moscow and had been given a lengthy suspension. Boro would have to make determined efforts with the Russian Federation for leniency, but in the meantime Pogatetz would have to wait for his debut. The transfer window wouldn't close until the end of August, and so the manager would continue to try and bolster a squad that had lost the services of Bolo Zenden. Bolo had 2 fine seasons at the Riverside, and his Carling Cup heroics helped to bring the club the first major piece of silverware. Zenden also chipped in with 8 goals in 2005-06, and the left side of Kadreur, Zenden and Downing was amongst the best in the Premiership. But Bolo decided to join Liverpool, and ironically it was the European champions, with Zenden in the starting lineup, who would face Boro at the Riverside for the opening game of the new season. A solid start, but Boro then faced back-to-back away games. The first at Spurs would find Matthew Bates deputising for the suspended Uwe Yog, and against a side who would go on to have an excellent season, Boro were unlucky at the leg.
Defoe closing in the Middlesbrough penalty area, right-footed shot, back of the net, Mark Schwarzer beaten left-hand side, and Spurs at the lane have the lead. Viduka, 25 yards, outshot just over the top of the crossbar, and Paul Robinson was at full stretch there, the England international goalkeeper, and Viduka from range. Here comes Spurs, looking to close the game out. Mido, near side of the penalty area, the Egyptian, speculative shot underneath Mark Schwarzer, and that's 2-0 to Spurs and game over.
It was destination Birmingham next for the Boro, and making his first start of the season was Australian international Mark Viduka, and on a warm night in the Midlands, he was simply sensational.
Boro looking for a lead here in St Andrews. A good ball over the top. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank at the angle. Jimmy wide. And that was close indeed from Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank to a Boro advantage. Morrison, decent space, right-hand side of the area. Puts the ball in the danger zone. Viduka scores. Terrific finish from Mark Viduka. He shows his delight, but it was all about the build-up play. James Morrison on the right-hand side whipped it in. Viduka with the finish, and a comprehensive shot there from Viduka. The left Mike Taylor completely beaten. Look at this from Morrison, and a finish from the Wizard from Oz. Viduka, not too much on here. Right-footed volley, astonishing finish, Mark Viduka. That is probably one of the goals of the season. We're only into August. Mark Viduka picks it up, 3 defenders to deal with, right-footed volley, Taylor beaten. Free kick floated in, Kadreur, and Frank Kadreur scored, and Boro have the full 3 points. 3-0, 3 points.
Emmanuel Pogatetz had been waiting patiently to make his first Boro appearance, and his 2-month nightmare came to an end when the Russian Federation reduced his original 24-week suspension to 8 games. That meant the Austrian international was available for the home match with Charlton, but Pogatetz began on the bench and must have wondered just what he'd let himself in for. No excuses were offered for the Charlton setback, and further pain was inflicted as Stuart Downing had aggravated an injury, which meant that the influential young winger would be on the sidelines until at least the new year. The team, though, did have a fortnight to prepare for the next game due to the break for World Cup qualifiers, and in that time, before the transfer window closed, McLaren made a double swoop. Fabio Rockenbach was another player who made an impact against the Boro in the previous UEFA Cup campaign, when he had played for Sporting Lisbon, helping Sporting to the final. Capped 7 times by Brazil, Rockenbach had spent 3 seasons on loan in Portugal, whilst registered with Barcelona. The transfer was completed late on the last day of the window, as he agreed to a 5-year contract. Also signing on for the Boro was the experienced Abel Xavier. The 32-year-old arrived as a replacement for Michael Reisiger, who joined PSV Eindhoven on a free transfer. Joseph Job said farewell to the Boro. The Cameroon international, who was another of the Carling Cup final heroes, joined Al Ittihad Club of Saudi Arabia. So with the new additions and the hard work on the training ground, the Boro was set for the Gunners. Adam Johnson, another academy product, would get his first Premiership start. And the Yak, well, he was ready to attack.
Adam Johnson. This is good build-up play from Boro. They seem to have the Gunners on the back foot just at the moment. Yakubu, edge of the penalty area, rolling his marker, works the angle, terrific finish from the Yak. It's Boro 1, it's Arsenal 0, and it's Yakubu's first goal for the Boro. Terrific play this, rolls his marker, curls it in. Arsenal look a bit hesitant here. Yakubu, Macaroni's got space, Macaroni on goal, Lehmann's beaten in front of the new Holgate. Boro have a 2-goal advantage against the Gunners, and didn't Macaroni enjoy that one? Surely that's 3 points. All of the players in the back of the net. The important thing is, so was the ball. Macaroni fed through, Macaroni draws the keeper, and he finds the finish. 2-0. Playing out time, but Boro don't want to let the goal in here. Jose Antonio Reyes clear towards the penalty area. Schwartz comes out. The angle is narrow, but Reyes has scored. Surely only consolation, and it's 2-1.
A terrific display against Arsenal lifted the spirits ahead of the first UEFA Cup tie this season, as Greek side Xanthi arrived at the Riverside. Not a great deal was known about Xanthi, apart from in their squad was a player who, despite playing only 53 league games for the Boro, made a major impact on Teesside. Emerson was back.
Boro pushing forward, Macaroni. This is interesting. Macaroni, angle of the area, hits the shot. The goalkeeper fists it out as far as Boateng. And that's 1-0 Boro, and that's just the start Boro wanted to their UEFA Cup campaign. George Boateng doesn't score too many, but he puts Boro into the lead at the Riverside. Now here's Pogatetz. Pogatetz looks up. New Holgate end as the ball's curled in. That isn't cleared particularly well. Viduka hits it down, deflects 2-0, and that's just the advantage.
After Euro exertions, it was back to the Premiership, and a Sunday date at newly promoted Wigan, who was settling very easily into life at a higher level.
Long ball in towards the strike force, flicked on. Yakubu inside 6 yards, finds the finish in front of the Boro fans. That really is terrific from the Yak. He points at Mark Viduka, who deserves equal praise, because the strikers combined at the JJB really well. Flicked on by Viduka, the finish from Yakubu. Free kick taken, Pogatetz the target, hits the bar. And that was so close to 2-0 to Boro just before half-time. That could have wrapped up the points. Great free kick, great header Pogatetz. The crossbar intervenes. Wigan looking for an equaliser. Ayog's got to be careful. He allows it to bounce. Camera could be in. Camera finds the finish. It's all tied up.
Derby games are always special dates in the fans' diary, and Boro approached the first Tees-Weir encounter of the season in confident mood. And despite the absence of goalkeeper Mark Schwarzer, should have seen off a Sunderland side who at this stage were without a point. But Derby games can overturn the form book, as we were painfully about to find out.
Early danger this from Sunderland. Tommy Miller. Miller inside the penalty area. Miller finds the finish, and the former Hartlepool striker has put Sunderland into the lead at the Riverside. Arca with a free kick. Left-footed, over the wall, back of the net, and 3 points for Sunderland.
After Derby heartbreak, September would draw to a close with a second leg against Xanthi. In front of around 100 fans that had made the long journey, Boro were about to finish the job.
So Right for the ball by Paviotes, picked out by coming by Gareth Southgate. Here's James Morris, who's come infield to a central midfield position. Releases Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Hasselbank 30 yards out from goal, directly in line with goal now. Hasselbank hits it on. Did the goalkeeper get a touch? Yes, he did. And that was a terrific save by Pisanovsky. Otherwise, Jimmy had put Boro in the lead.
Boro were now determined to pick up their league form, and from Greece it was a date at Villa Park. After the Xanthi game, Abel Xavier was nominated to take a UEFA drugs test. The sample would go on to prove positive, and although Xavier would protest his innocence, his appearance in the Midlands would be his last.
Left-footed ball played in. Villa don't really deal with that one. Yakubu at the angle. Yakubu finds the finish. And Yakubu is in terrific goal-scoring form at the moment. Didn't he enjoy that one? Villa will be disappointed with the defending here, but Yakubu at the angle makes it 1-0. In comes the cross in the Middlesbrough penalty area. Boro clear on as far as Moore. It's all tied up one apiece at Villa Park. Moore's shot comprehensive in the back of the net. Well, Boro have a corner here. In it comes, Villa don't clear it. George Boateng at the angle. Boateng deflects in and Boro back in the lead at Villa Park. And didn't the former Villa player enjoy that one? Great celebrations from George. Terrific finish. And Boro deservedly back in the lead. Look at this one. Boateng, left foot shot. Did he deflect? It did. And Boro back in the lead. Boro could tie it up here. 3-on-2. Boateng goes through. That must be a penalty. Mike Dean, the referee, points the spot in front of the Holt end. And quite clearly, it's a penalty kick. A chance for 3 points. Yakubu. It's a very slow walk forward from Yakubu. But it's a great finish. And Boro lead 3-1 in the Midlands. Terrific from the Yak. Well, any Villa goal now would be no more than consolation. Cleared. Davis shot. 3-2.
Yakubu was starting to make a big impact, and with 4 goals in the last 4 appearances, had every right to look forward to the visit of his former club Portsmouth to the Riverside. In a hectic spell of games, Boro were again getting out their passports as the group stage of the UEFA Cup beckoned and a journey to Zurich to face Grasshoppers. Sometimes a narrow decision can turn a game, and that was certainly the case at Upton Park, as a linesman's bad call would inflict on Boro a hammer blow.
We played just over an hour at Upton Park, 0-0. West Ham coming forward. Konchesky on the overlap. Konchesky looks up, delivers the ball in. Sheringham, left-footed shot. Mark Schwarzer beaten right-hand side. And the veteran striker scored. I wonder if it's first touch since coming on sub. West Ham have the lead. Free kick delivered in a dangerous area. Mark Schwarzer gets on the line. Terrific save from Mark Schwarzer. Great stuff from the big Aussie, but what's the linesman given? Well, surely not a goal. Alan Pardew celebrates. And Boro clearly frustrated. The referee having none of it. It's 2-0 to West Ham. But you can probably understand Mark Schwarzer's frustration. Let's look at this one. He gets it. Well, it isn't even close to being over the line. That quite clearly is a dreadful call by the linesman. Last few moments of the game, Boro frustrated. Rockenbach delivers the corner. Kadre rises. It's 2-1 at Upton Park.
There was no time to dwell on the Hammers' heartbreak, as the first game of this season's Carling Cup beckoned at Everton. Last time around, Boro had lost their trophy across Stanley Park at Anfield, but this would be a happier Merseyside encounter thanks to Jimmy. Games against Manchester United are always special affairs, but no one could have anticipated the drama that was about to unfold at the Riverside. Geisker Mendieta would have his best performance yet in a Middlesbrough shirt, in a match that will be talked about for seasons to come.
Left-footed for Boateng. Good atmosphere here to Emmanuel Pogatetz on the left-hand side of play. Pogatetz coming infield. Plays it towards Geisker Mendieta. Mendieta hits the shot, the goal! It's in! Mounts inside the box. Hasselbank, can he get there? Hasselbank has got there. Hasselbank! Goal! Yakubu against Van der Sar. Yakubu wanders forward now. From the spot, he scores in magnificent fashion! Here's Yakubu, sprinting inside the area. Great play, Yakubu. Yakubu plays it back. Mendieta! Scholes takes it, floats it in, header, and it's a Manchester United goal.
The target was now a hat-trick of wins in 3 different competitions in just 8 days, and Boro, still buzzing after the magnificent display against Manchester United, were more than ready for the Ukrainian side, Dnipro.
Just under 13,000 here at the Riverside. Boro looking for a lead. Mendieta, Yakubu combined. That is 1-0 to the Boro. Artem Kusli beating away to his right-hand side, and Yak gives Boro the advantage in the UEFA Cup. Looking for a second goal now. Mendieta, who was involved in the first. That looked a foul. Referee playing an advantage. Viduka rolls his marker. Viduka right-footed. Terrific finish in front of the new Holgate end. Mark Viduka's smile tells a tale. Great goal. Look at this one, he rolls his marker, picks his spot, top corner, that's class from Viduka. Looking for a third to wrap things up here. Inside the box, Morrison saved, comes back, Viduka finds the finish, 3-0. Great night for the Boro against the team from the Ukraine.
Just 11 days after the Carling Cup win at Everton, Boro were back at Goodison for a Premiership clash with the Toffees. But the outcome this time wouldn't be as satisfying. James Beattie always seems to reserve his best for the Boro, and yet again, the striker played a decisive role. After the international break, Boro returned to Premiership action against Fulham. Aussie duo Mark Schwarzer and Mark Viduka only arrived back from helping the Socceroos to the World Cup finals on the Friday before the game, and they were rested. The match marked Steve McLaren's 200th in charge of the Boro, and the side were out for all 3 points.
0-0 on Century. Collins John chests it downside the air, gets the volley away, and what a goal that is for Fulham! You have to say that was an astonishing volley from Collins John. Steve McLaren is growing ever more anxious outside of his technical area at the present time. Hasselbank, Yakubu on the left, his favoured position. He likes to test the defence from here. And it's a great ball in towards Morrison, brings it down, goal! James Morrison, the kid does it, but what a ball into Morrison. He found himself free, he kept his composure, and Boro are back level. Boro 1, Fulham 1. This corner kick for Fulham into the box, powerful header, and Fulham are back into the lead. Nemeth couldn't get it under control. Here's the captain, Gareth Southgate, to Rockenbach on the left-hand side. Southgate's gone forward. Gareth Southgate, across goal, tapping. It's surely, and it is in! It's an equaliser. Okay, guys, here's Zilad Nemeth, right-hand side of play. Nemeth puts it in towards Jimmy Floyd. Hasselbank, surely now. Hasselbank, goal! Jimmy's done it! Jimmy, the head man, Hasselbank, strikes, and at last, Boro in the lead in the Riverside. It's Boro 3, it's Fulham 2, and the glory is Jimmy's.
Well, it was a great finish, wasn't it, for Jimmy? I mean, he's not been firing on all cylinders, but that's what strikers are about. He finally get the chance, Jimmy, and boy, he stuck it away.
After deputising for Mark Schwarzer against Fulham, Brad Jones kept his place for the UEFA Cup tie in Holland against AZ Alkmaar, as Schwarzer was struggling with a shoulder injury. And Jones, together with the rest of the defence, will be tested to the full by a quality side. So Boro were through to the knockout stage with still one group game left. It was in the Premiership where they needed consistency. Next up was Brian Robson's West Bromwich Albion.
George Botan, edge of the area. Viduka, Botan's continued the run. Viduka with the real opportunity. What a goal! Outside of the boot, picked that out from the Westerners. Here's Carnew, edge of the penalty area, stopped. And Boro trying to clear, but get themselves into an awful tangle. Chance for an equaliser. West Brom are back on level terms, and it's Nathan Ellington with the goal who ties things up one apiece. But Albion clear, and Botan has to go back to defensive duties. And on this right-hand side of play, all of a sudden Albion have players sprinting forward. It's number 3, Paul Robinson. Carnew, edge of the box. Carnew takes his time. Carnew finds a finish, and West Bromwich Albion astonishingly at the Riverside are in the lead. Right for a cross inside there now. Nemeth goes down, referee has spotted a penalty kick. The cross came in from Rockenbach. Nemeth salutes the new Holgate end. Albion players protest their innocence, but Boro have a spot kick and a chance to equalise.
There you go. Ali, I didn't see much in it. I'll be looking again at the monitor, but...
Oh, Zilad doesn't go down unless he's been pushed.
Here we go. I mean, Rockenbach puts a good ball into the box. Nemeth can...
Oh, you see what's a push in the back.
Hey,
his left arm was up. Let's see.
Paul Robinson lent into Zilad Nemeth, penalty kick, correct decision,
Ali,
Peter Walton.
Ali, I've seen them going anyway, no.
It's
not convincing.
Yakubu now advances. Slowly he comes forward. Yakubu scores! Brilliant fashion. Perfect spot kick. And now a Boro spot on to go on and win. Boro 2, West Bromwich Albion 2. The Yak from the spot.
Boro's 6th and final game of November will bring about a Carling Cup clash with Crystal Palace. The Eagles were a championship side, but the previous season had been in the Premiership and would make Boro fight for that quarter-final spot.
Has now put the ball into his own net in the Carling Cup, and it's Boro 0, it's Crystal Palace 1. As Palace delay a few seconds by tying the shoelaces. Boro get it here though, and it's Viduka. Viduka hits the shot. Magnificent! Magnificent goal! Mark Viduka from range with a volley that he can only dream about and will give nightmares to Speroni. He didn't have a chance. Top of the net. Boro 1, Palace 1. Viduka leaves us breathless. Come on, Boros. It's good to hear you. And Viduka back to goal. Into the box it goes now. At the angle, Nemeth. High into the net. And Boro in the lead. And Zilad Nemeth hits it high. And Boro, in 10 dramatic minutes in the second half, have turned this Carling Cup tie around.
Boro began December in 10th place in the table, but facing tricky back-to-back away games. The first was at the home of the champions, Chelsea. From the capital to Merseyside, where Liverpool were waiting. And as at West Ham earlier in the season, Boro left questioning the referee, as Steve Bennett made Chris Riggott see red.
Boro attacking the Anfield Road end. Rockenbach, grip the ball in there towards Viduka. And Reina makes the save. Mark Viduka disappointed. Good save though from the Spanish goalkeeper. And Boro unlucky. Here come Liverpool attacking the Kop. Gerrard is ever industrious. Right-hand side of the penalty area. Gerrard ducks underneath it. Morientes finds the finish and Liverpool have the lead. Morientes in front of the Kop. 1-0 Liverpool. Liverpool coming forward again. Kadra got his head to that one, but it's in the path of Morientes. It's disappointing. It's 2-0 to Liverpool and Morientes gets his second. Well, Liverpool clearly the dominant side at the moment. Riggott challenge on Steven Gerrard. Now, what will the referee give here? He's already booked Chris Riggott. Another card, and the Boro central defender will be off, and it is red for Chris Riggott. And Steve Bennett, who early this season, well, he gave a goal at West Ham that wasn't, thanks to a linesman's flag, and now Chris Riggott can be very disappointed to be sent off, and Boro's afternoon on Merseyside is misery.
So disappointment on Merseyside, but Boro now returned to the road to Eindhoven. And despite already qualifying for the knockout stage, there was work to be done to ensure that they finished at the top of the group. Jason Kennedy, another academy product, made his first start against a Bulgarian side who were determined to frustrate the Boro.
Johnson receiving possession. Kadre's coming up in support of the attack. Johnson round one, Johnson round two. Johnson inside the box, puts a great ball in towards Macaroni. Goal! Massimo Macaroni plants his header beyond Victor Boot-top. Macaroni gets the goal, but it was all about the wing play. Whizzing it in there from Adam Johnson, left a couple of Bulgarians in his wake, and Boro have a goal. Boro 1, Litex Lovic 0. Doriva, Massimo Macaroni. Macaroni chance to turn. Macaroni chance for a second. Macaroni hits him. What a goal! The Gladiator strikes in imperious fashion. He hit that left-footed. It scorched into the top of the Litex Lovic net, and that quite simply was magnificent from Massimo. Boro 2, Lovic 0. Top of the group now.
Well, Macaroni, he hadn't been in the game, Ali, but I know he's a striker. You don't have to be having a good game to score goals. He grabbed it first, but that was something special. That was a fantastic, magnificent, call it what you like. It was a brilliant goal. I mean, Doriva feeds him. He's central. He drives towards 18-yard line, and from about 25 yards, he's drilled it with his left foot, and it's ended up in the top right-hand corner. Well done, Macaroni. That is one hell of a goal kick.
I was about to think reasons to be here tonight, and that is Reasons to Be Here, Part 1.
The visit of Spurs will be Boro's 9th Sunday Premiership game of the season, as UEFA Cup involvement and the demands of TV had limited the traditional Saturday kickoffs. But the 27,614 who turned out for the arrival of Martin Jol's side were in for a pre-Christmas feast of goals.
Lee crosses the ball towards the head of Mido. Schwarzer comes a long way, doesn't get there. King gets the touch, and is it going to trickle in? It hasn't. Spurs have the lead, and that really is astonishing. Boro should have dealt with the cross comfortably. They didn't, and Robbie Keane does cartwheels in celebration. It's Boro 0, it's Spurs 1. And Doriva, well, he turns it to Rockenbach.
Get it over.
Rockenbach plays a little ball to Kadra, edge of the area. Kadra chips on, flicked on by Gareth Southgate. Yakubu, goal! Yakubu on the volley. Robinson comprehensively beaten, and the Yak attacks, and Boro are back in it at the Riverside. The manager pointing, giving direction. It's Yakubu then with the ball. Yakubu out towards the near side for Morrison. Morrison a chance to attack Lee. Morrison charging towards the penalty area. Morrison, it's still Morrison. Morrison, goal!
What a goal!
Absolutely magnificent goal from Morrison. Curled it beyond the reach of the England goalkeeper. That was international class from Morrison. Boro in the lead just before half-time. A collective hug, a collective pat on the back for James Morrison. What a wonder strike that was. Yakubu
Yakubu back to George Boateng, midway inside the Spurs half. This is good build-up play. Morrison right-hand side. It's time to measure across. Into Yakubu. What a save, Robinson! And what a goal that would have been. Robinson, absolutely England class to tip it over. Davids has a quick word with the referee. He blows his whistle. And the free kick now. Genius takes it over the wall. Oh, and it goes into the back of the net. It's a terrific free kick from Spurs. The back level. 2-2 at the Riverside. Corner kick, New Holgate end. Rockenbach takes it. Right foot into the box. It goes now. Header. It's still inside the bar. It's gone in. The linesman's flagging. It's a goal and it's Cadre! Frank Cadre's header hit the underside of the bar. Bounced down. Linesman says goal. Boro back in the lead thanks to French Frank. Boro 3, Spurs 2.
Well, great delivery, but what a header from Frank Quadreau. Bullet header, clipped the top of the back, came down. We're going to see it again on the replay, but I don't give a damn where it was over and what. We got it, and well done, Quadreau.
In comes the corner kick now. Mido with a header, it's into the back of the net, and Spurs have an equaliser. It was played in towards Mido. Mido climbed higher than anybody in a crowded box, and Spurs are back with 8 minutes to go, 3 apiece.
The Carling Cup is always special to Boro fans, and the quarter-final with Blackburn Rovers gave real promise of keeping alive the hope of a return to the Millennium Stadium. But Mark Hughes had a game plan in a tie that had a late sting in the tail for the Boro.
Neil floats it up towards the edge of the box. Stuart Parnaby's back tracking, heads it, edge of the penalty area. Yakubu's shot deflects. It's a tap and the Blackburn Rovers have scored. And it's Paul Dickup who's got the goal for Blackburn. And that could end Boro's interest in the Carling Cup for this year.
The Carling Cup exit was a blow, but the Boxing Day fixture gave Boro a chance to regain pride as Blackburn Rovers were the visitors. But Rovers were a well-organised side who will go on to claim a top 6 Premiership finish and made it a miserable festive outing for the Boro.
It's a good, strong run there by Ryan Nelson. Emerton, right-footed cross, a decent one. Yakubu scored for Blackburn Rovers. He just got ahead of the defender there. And the man who caused problems for Boro midweek in the Cup is doing it again in the Premiership. And it's Boro 0, it's Blackburn 1. Yakubu with the goal in the 38th minute. Cross towards the far side. Bellamy brings it down inside the penalty area. Shot, Mark Schwartz makes it pretty simple. It's a tap-in, and it's 2-0 for Blackburn Rovers. And Yakubu scored again.
The defeat was all the more painful as George Boateng tore his ankle ligaments and wouldn't feature again until February. The trip to Bolton Wanderers fell victim to a frozen pitch, and so the final Premiership game of 2005 was the third home league fixture in a row. Manchester City were the visitors as Boro tried to end the old year in style.
Still Mark Viduka with the ball. Good link-up play. Morrison charged on. Pogatet's in yards of space. Morrison, good vision. Pogatet's inside the penalty area if he gets a good touch on it. Pogatet's now is inside the box. Pogatet's measures his cross is put over. Oh, and that was a terrific opportunity for young James Morrison. He got, in fact, too much on it, and the ball flies into the crowd instead of the net.
But it was a great move initially, wasn't it? From the right to the left. Morrison continued his run into the box. It's a great ball for Pogatet. James is stranded. You're looking for a wee side foot finish, too much on it.
The goalless draw marked the midway point of the season. League form had been inconsistent, and the side was in 15th place with 21 points from the 19 games that had been played. 2006 began with a local derby against Newcastle United. Lee Cattermole, at just 17 years of age, was given his first Premiership start and would serve notice in a man-of-the-match display that another jewel had been uncovered from the academy.
Well, Boro have had a good first half so far. The majority of danger down the right. Here they come again. Parnaby, Viduka should score and he lifts it over. And Mark Viduka will know that was a presentable opportunity in front of Elise's end. Newcastle free kick. And will it be Solano? Right-footed, over the wall, top corner from Solano. Newcastle in the derby have the lead, and it's Nobby Solano from a set play. Boro looking to get back into the derby. They have an opportunity yet again along the right-hand side. Viduka. Morrison's made a great burst forward. Morrison has Boro attacked the Gallagher end. Morrison looks for Yakubu, one apiece. And Yakubu put a terrific run in there. Great finish. Into the final few moments of the derby. We're into the last 6 minutes. And Boro looking to break. And Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, who's come on as sub, is getting away from the United defence and scores. Great goal, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Not too much of a celebration there from Jimmy, but it really was a class finish from a class striker. Corner kick to Newcastle, last seconds of the derby, concentration needed. In he comes, Shea Given's gone up. So to Mark Schwarzer, fisted away, but Lee Clark squirms it through the crowd, and it's all tied up 2 apiece.
Conceding so late against the Magpies was hard to take, and there were signs that all was not well in the dressing room. Players were unsure if they're going to remain at the club. Ugo Eyog and Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank looked destined to leave during the January transfer window. Mark Schwarzer asked to be placed on the transfer list. Steve McLaren dropped the Australian international and replaced him with his fellow countryman Brad Jones for an FA Cup third-round tie in Nuneaton. On a difficult pitch, and with 6,000 fans cheering them on, the non-league Boro fancied their chances. But this is what makes the FA Cup special.
Difficult conditions, but here come Boro forwards. Free kick, Shuli Yakubu is knocked to the floor. The referee points for the free kick, and it's in quite a dangerous position as well. And it's Mendieta, terrific finish from Gaisca Mendieta. Absolute Spanish goal from Mendy. Terrific free kick. Goalkeeper Darren Acton is beaten. The Boro support is delighted. And what a great start to the cup tie. Mendy over the wall, back of the net. Well, clearly Nuneaton haven't given this one up yet. They're still trying to stretch the Boro, attacking towards where the majority of their fans are housed, near side of play. Boro really need to concentrate here. Cross comes in, Gareth Southgate defences that handball. The referee is pointing to the spot. Mike Dean's made a big decision. I think you can see in Gareth's face, it's probably a correct decision. Penalty to Nuneaton, dying moments of the cup tie. At stake a replay at the Riverside. Jez Murphy takes it and scores. It's all tied up, and you have to say they deserve it.
Boro were grateful for the replay, but were now trying to put a squad together to face Arsenal. Emmanuel Pogatetz was suspended for the encounter with the Gunners, and Andrew Taylor, who had been on loan at Bradford City, was given his first Premiership start. Chris Riggett was handed the captain's armband for 90 minutes that would stretch the side to breaking point.
Glides it almost to the penalty spot. Hit firmly beyond the reach of Brad Jones. It's Thierry Henry. In comes the corner now. Free header, 2-0 Arsenal. And a free header planted into the back of the net. The marking at the corner was all over the place. And then it's a careless ball.
Like that, Ali.
Conceded. And it's threaded through towards Henry. Henry against Brad Jones. Thierry Henry's rolling into the net. And Thierry Henry has scored his second of the afternoon. A quite glorious finish from Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry. And the running support is provided by Perez. Lundberg is also bursting inside the penalty area. It's still Perez. Perez picks his spot. Goodness me. It's 4-0 in the first half here at Highbury. And this is developing into a North London massacre of the Boro. Every Boro player back defensively. Every player barring Mendieta inside the penalty area. Henry takes the free kick right footed. In he goes again. Brad Jones. Oh, he can't stop the ball entering the net. And Arsenal have got another goal here, and it's Gilberto. I thought for a moment that Brad Jones had stopped it. What a ball that is for Henry. Onside, Henry at the north bank. Henry makes it 6 for Arsenal and equals Cliff Baston's league record of 150 goals for the Gunners. Lundberg running right-hand side of play. Henry's making a run. Henry's timed his run to perfection. Henry inside the penalty area. Reyes wants it played to him. Reyes inside the box. There's a crowd. Oh, this is going to be surely Arsenal 7. It is!
Boro was shell-shocked after the Highbury mauling. It was the club's worst Premier League defeat. Captain Gareth Southgate then held a players' meeting, showing early signs of his managerial credentials, skills which would be put to use on a full-time basis sooner than he might have imagined. The Boro players had to quickly clear their heads as Nuneaton were heading for the Riverside for the FA Cup replay.
Square pass for Bates, half-line area, Matthew Bates. That's a decent-looking ball, edge of the box. The goalkeeper's lobbed, the Boro have the lead, and would you believe it's Chris Riggett? And it's Mendieta on the right, but Yakubu currently with possession. Yakubu to Mendieta, Mendieta barged outside the box, penalty kick to the Boro. Yakubu comes forward now. Yakubu takes the penalty and scores! For Boro, a little bit of momentum possibly lost out of the attack, but Mendieta, a beautiful ball. In the box goes for Johnson, great save by Acton, and knocked out of towards the edge of the box when a shot comes back in, deflects and goes in off Fanuka. Injuries affecting key personnel. They've done well this evening. It was just that early blemish when Murphy went forward. But here's Yakubu. Yakubu, great strength. Yakubu's through, and is he rolling it in? He has! Cattermole continues the forward momentum, chips in towards Yakubu, in fact hits Yakubu on the back. Here's Viduka. Viduka slams it in! An Acton long clearance. Pogatetz has just come back on. Brad Jones out of the penalty area. Oh, he's gambled and missed it. And Murphy's going to head into an unguarded net. And Nuneaton have the consolation goal that their 5,000 fans wanted. Goes it forward a couple of yards, then goes back for it again inside the box. Goes down to penalty to Nuneaton. In front of the Nuneaton fans. He comes forward now. And he puts in the back of the net, and Brad Jones made a valiant attempt to save it.
The FA Cup had provided a much-needed tonic, but the league position ahead of the home game with Wigan was a clear cause for concern, with the team fourth bottom and 5 points clear of the dreaded drop zone. Stuart Downey had been missing since August due to injury, but in a bleak winter lifted the spirits by making his return to action. Also back were Gareth Southgate and Ray Parlour, but Paul Jewell's side had confounded the critics by thriving in the top flight, and they wouldn't make it easy.
Knocked upfield and a quick touch on. Brad Jones decided to stay at home. A shot, Brad Jones half parries it, but Wigan have taken the lead. And it's Jason Roberts who struck early for Wigan. Teal close to the corner flag, puts the cross in. Teal decent free header back of the net, and Wigan have two. And out of play for another corner kick. Downing to take this corner again for Boro. Left-footed delivery comes in. Free header, Boro back in the game, and it's Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Corner kick for Downing, left-footed, he'll deliver it now in towards the near post. Head, it must be 18! Boro have an equaliser! As we're deep into stoppage time at the end of the game. Corner kick's taken now, right-footed, near post. Parlour heads it, and Wigan put it back into the box again. There's a touch on, and Wigan have scored a late goal, and Wigan have got the winner.
So yet again, a late goal haunting the Boro, and they remained in 17th place, looking over their shoulder at the Premiership's relegation zone. However, the focus now returned to the FA Cup. Mark Schwarzer regained his position in goal and eventually would withdraw his transfer request. Also in the starting 11 at Coventry was Ugo Eyog, whose move to West Bromwich Albion had fallen through. Once again, though, the FA Cup would prove to be a great leveller.
It's been a competitive game so far at the Ricoh Arena. Boro looking to put pressure on the Coventry defence. Coventry failed to clear. Falls to Jimmy. Boro have the lead. A great finish from Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. But Coventry City will be disappointed in their defending. It was awful. City coming back, looking for an equaliser. Far side of play, somehow hooked in the penalty area by McSheffrey. That was a decent ball in. Boro struggling to defend it and get it away. Falls for Stern John on the volley, one apiece. And his cup tie is all tied up.
Boro had begun January with a north-east derby at St James's Park and would end the month in another local encounter, this time at bottom of the table Sunderland. It was quite simply a must-win game.
Free kick, Downing takes it, attack down, it's hit against the inside bar, it's gone in. The linesman spots it, it's a goal for the Boro. And would you believe it, it's Emmanuel Pogatetz. And Sunderland losing it.
Here we go, 3 against 3.
Right-hand side of play. Viduka and Hasselbank charging on. Boro on the right-hand side with possession at the moment. Come infield. It's Viduka then. Back to goal. Edge of the air. Shot. Back of the net. And Boro have a 2-goal advantage here. And it's Stuart Parnaby. Parnaby goes to the floor, joined by the rest of the team in celebration. Half an hour has been played. Sunderland 0, Boro 2, both from defenders, Pogatetz and Parnaby. There's Dorival winning it, and here's Geister Mendieta, going to inside the Sunderland half, lifts in towards Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, goal! Jimmy, the hit man Hasselbank, with power and authority, has decided effectively the derby. Sunderland 0, Boro 3, what a shot from Jimmy!
3 points from Sunderland should have provided the perfect preparation for the first game of February, with Aston Villa the opposition at the Riverside. Steve McLaren named an unchanged side, but few could have anticipated the agonising 90 minutes that would lie ahead.
Look at this, Barry inside the penalty area. Cattermole puts a challenge in.
Well done, Cattermole, it was a good challenge.
J. Lloyd Samuels, a decent looking ball in. Chance for Villa, Villa have the lead! And it's Luke Moore. Luke Moore drills it beyond Mark Schwarzer. Cross into the box, Moore gets a flick to that one, it's 2-0 to Aston Villa. In fact, it's flicked into the back of the net by Kevin Phillips. On the left-hand side for Gareth Barry. A little run into
This
a
is with the
gap there
playing
by
balls in
Stephen
behind
Davis.
the defenders and the pace.
Davis, look at the movement there by Phillips, rather. It's Stephen Davis inside the box. Then the cross comes in. Chance for Moore. Block first time. Moore puts it in second time, and Aston Villa have 3. Aston Villa have 3 goals at the Riverside. Luke Moore firing it beyond Mark Schwarzer. As Aston Villa win it, and Boro, the wheels are in danger of falling off here. Moore's in for his hat-trick. Moore's in, dinks it over Schwarzer. It's 4-0 to Boro. The wheels are off the Boro wagon, and Luke Moore's got a hat-trick. It is 4, it's astonishing, it's capitulation, and quite simply this Riverside horror show could end in any amount of goals that Villa want.
The game against Aston Villa marked the lowest point of Boro's season. Lee Cattermole's tears would symbolise the disappointment and frustration shared by the players, management and fans alike. The talented individuals Middlesbrough had were better than their league position suggested, but as Boro painfully learned in 1997, no team was too good to go down. Midweek would see Boro play another Midlands club, Coventry City, in an FA Cup replay, a game that would see Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank return to his goal-scoring best.
Guides it for Pogatetz. Fully recovered from that knock from Scowcroft of a few moments ago. And that's a great ball through to an onside Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Hasselbank round the keeper. Jimmy scores! Jimmy, the hitman Hasselbank, gives Boro the lead. Huge ovation here at the Riverside.
So much needed win setting up a 5th round tie at Preston North End. But the big question was 7 days after the Aston Villa debacle, how would Boro cope with the Premiership top dogs Chelsea? Ironically, the game would show just why the fans love the unpredictability of football, as Boro, inspired by Yakubu, put on a 5-star display.
The stats are awesome in favour of the visitors. They're unbeaten in 11 league and cup games against the Boro, but here come Boro and Yakubu to Rockenbach inside the area, still Rockenbach, goal! Fabio Rockenbach scores his first goal for the Boro. It comes astonishingly against league leaders Chelsea. Take that, Jose! Rockenbach weaving his way along this right-hand side of play. Rockenbach then puts it to Yakubu. We're back at the Boro have 2 against 1 over on the far side. Downing bursts in. Downing gets the edge of there. Hits the shot. The goalkeeper makes a terrific save away to his right-hand side. Yakubu bursts inside the area. Yakubu stopped by Terry, but Boro still have it left-hand side. Downing inside the box. Downing drives in, and he scores! Goal! Stewie Downing put it in. It might have deflected off Mendieta. Everybody's hugging the boy wonder. Everybody's hugging each other. The Riverside has gone absolutely ballistic. Steve Gibson.
He's like a Cheshire cat.
He's got Keith Lamb alongside him. And a lot of them just watching from the director's box. Yakubu turns his marker. Yakubu inside the penalty area. Yakubu, Yakubu, goal! The Yak attacks, and surely there's no way back for Jose now. It's Boro 3, it's Chelsea 0, it's Yakubu the top scorer. And here's Downing on the left-hand side of play. Boro looking for a 4th against the champions. And Carvalho stopped Downing's run. Boro get a throw-in. Carvalho's kept the ball. It's not been his day. Downing takes the throw-in for Rockenbach. Rockenbach coming in. Thinks about the shot. Oh, what a save, Penacek! Rockenbach's shot was arcing for the top corner of the net. And the goalkeeper flew through the air, and it's a corner. Otherwise, that would have been 4.
That was a Rockenbach rocket. It looked destined for the top left-hand corner. The keeper was agile, and it was a fantastic save, but what a strike from Rockenbach. He does look Brazilian today.
He looks like Pelé today.
The UEFA Cup now came out of its winter break as Boro travelled to Stuttgart for the first leg of the last 32 tie. Andrew Davis, who had been on loan at Derby County before his recall in January, made his European debut as Boro enjoyed the experience of playing in a ground that will host World Cup action. by success in Germany, Boro travelled to Preston North End for an FA Cup tie in confident mood, and Yakubu would again prove why Steve McLaren had been prepared to write a big cheque from Nigerian International Services back in the summer.
Along this left-hand side, Yakubu touches onto his strike partner, Hasselbank, returns it to Yakubu. Yakubu bursts between the defenders. Yakubu shot, goal! Magnificent strike from Yakubu! He's only had one opportunity in the game, but he's took that opportunity. Now he'll take this free kick, left-footed, in towards Chris Riggett. Riggett didn't get there, the header, it's into the back of the net, and Boro have their second goal, and it's Yakubu. Yakubu came in at the far post, his header beat Carlo Nash.
The return with Stuttgart came quickly, and with the prize at stake, a clash with Serie A giants AS Roma, the stakes were high.
It comes back to Zvonimir Soldo, the captain, and it's flicked on there, blocked by Riggett. And still, Stuttgart have a chance to try and work it inside the penalty area. There is an opportunity here. Mark Schwartz is beaten, and Stuttgart are back into the tie. They lead on the night by 1-0, and Tifer gets the goal.
Since the Aston Villa horror show that had opened in February, Boro had made a recovery with progress in the UEFA and FA Cup, but the urgency was to make a climb towards mid-table safety in the Premiership. The final game of the month brought another opportunity, as it was destination struggling West Bromwich Albion at the Hawthorns. After a couple of cup outings, Frank Gedrum had his first Premiership start of 2006, as the defence now had a solid look. March opened with Birmingham City on Teesside for yet another six-pointer. The Blues were having a torrid season, and Steve McLaren was well aware that 3 points would open up an 11-point gap between the Boro and the drop zone. In tense matches, you look for a touch of quality, and Mark Viduka is capable of providing such moments.
Finds Kadra, now Catamore. Bernie again indicates play it wide, but Catamore keeps it central. Good ball as well to Mark Viduka. Viduka, terrific work by Viduka. Surely Viduka will score. Mark Viduka scored a terrific goal for the Boro. That is class. That's authority from Mark Viduka, and it's a Boro lead, priceless lead just before half-time. Thanks to the centre forward from Oz, it's Boro 1, it's Birmingham 0.
The season was now turning around, as Boro prepared for AS Roma on the back of 7 wins in 9 matches. The Italians were, however, in top form and had just established a Serie A record of 11 successive wins, although they were without their captain and inspiration, Francesco Totti, who was recovering from a broken ankle. It was clearly the biggest UEFA Cup challenge so far.
Mendieta then plays it towards Jimmy Floyd. Hasselbank, the keeper's come out. Hasselbank goes down. Penalty to the Boro. Jimmy goes down, gets the penalty, and Gianluca Cacci looks at the referee as if to say no, but the referee has pointed to the spot, and Boro, just 10 minutes in, have a chance to go into the lead. Yakubu waits, referee blows the whistle. Yakubu advances now towards the ball. Yakubu scores! Goal for the Boro! Delight for the Boro! And the fans out of their seats for a magnificent penalty from the Yak.
In the middle of a demanding schedule, McLaren rang the changes for the league game at Charlton Athletic. Tony McMahon made his first start of the season, and Adam Johnson was given another opportunity to star on the wing. Certainly the Boro would be good enough to press Charlton Athletic all of the way.
17 minutes left to play at the Valley. Boro hanging onto a point, crossing the area. Darren Bent rises, and Darren Bent has put Charlton into the lead. Frustration by Pogatetz, he kicks the post. Here comes Viduka, far out. Terrific finish, Mark Viduka. That is an absolute quality finish from the Boro striker. Probably one of the goals of the season. Look at this. From range, looks up, hits the volley over Thomas Myra, and Boro back level. Can Boro hang on to the point? Charlton late danger here. Darren Bent tucks it in, and Charlton 2, Boro 1, and it's Bent again.
All roads for Boro fans now led to Rome, and the return leg in the Stadio Olimpico. This was to be a terrific battle in the Eternal City, for a place in the last 8.
Hasselbank there. Hasselbank gets it. Hasselbank scores! Jimmy, the hit man, Hasselbank, has scored a fabulous goal for Boro at the Olympic Stadium. The Boro fans away to the left-hand side go absolutely wild. There's number 13, Shivu, into the penalty area now. It's played back, Mancini with a chance. Mancini scored for Roma. And Mancini hits it high into the top of the net. And Roma believe they have some hope now. Referee spots it, everything's okay. Penalty's taken, it's into the back of the net. And Roma are 2-1 ahead on the night. It's 2-2 on aggregate.
A truly heroic performance, with the only blow bookings to Lee Cattermole and George Botan that would rule them out of the quarter-final against FC Basel. In the league, Blackburn Rovers awaited Boro at Ewood Park, and after the Rovers League and Cup double at the Riverside in December, the Boro were out to revenge. But sadly, it wasn't to be.
Craig Bellamy, quick feet, tries to get away from Riggett, succeeds in doing that. Gets his shot in, oh, and that's gone into the back of the net. And Craig Bellamy has scored a terrific goal for Blackburn Rovers. As Morrison gets advantage for Boro. Morrison threads into Viduka inside the penalty at the angle. Mark Viduka, a lot of work to be done, but he does it brilliantly and scores! Mark Viduka from the angle, beats Brad Friedel, pulls Boro back level. That's 3 in 3 Premier League games for Mark Viduka. Here's his free kick, Pedersen takes it, on it's gone directly in from the free kick. Pedersen took the free kick. Davis for Boro. Up against him is Pedersen. Oh, that's great work by Davis. Releases Morrison, yards of space. Morrison sprinting inside the penalty area. Morrison plays it back. Rockenbach scores! Fabio Rockenbach with a stunning finish after terrific work by James Morrison. Rockenbach on his return rocks the Rovers. It's Blackburn 2, it's Boro 2. And Rovers up towards the halfway line here with Lucas Neal. And onside is Bellamy on the right-hand side in yards of space. And Bellamy inside there, hits the shot and it flies into the back of the net. And Craig Bellamy has scored a goal of awesome power.
Boro now faced their 6th game in 23 Mad March days, with the FA Cup quarter-final at Charlton. With so many fixtures in 2006, it was an air of inevitability that the two sides wouldn't finish this time on the night. The clash with Bolton was Boro's first home league game in 3 weeks, and their first of the season with the Wanderers after the Reebok postponement in December. Stuart Parnaby believed he was enjoying his best ever season. Not only was he solid defensively, but he'd also found an eye for a goal.
On the edge of the Middlesbrough box now, Andrew Davis tries to get there. There's a bit of a stumble. Opportunity here for Bolton. The Bolton Wanderers have taken the lead. It's Stelios with the goal. 6 minutes in, Boro a goal down to a Bolton Wanderers side who scored through Stelios Yanakopoulos in the 3rd minute. Here's his free kick taken right from inside the penalty. There's a diving header, he's cleared off the line. And the referee in fact has spotted it. Well, he's spotted something, it could well be the penalty kick, Bernie. Hasselbank takes it, and it goes in under the body of Juski Jääskeläinen. There's a host of red shirts coming forward now. Pogatet's with options. Pogatet's still with the ball, one step over. Lays at the edge of the box for Mark Viduka, who news of him his touch wasn't sure. But here's Rockenbach. Rockenbach with possession. Dinks it in towards Jimmy Floyd. Hasselbank onside. Chance surely for Viduka. Viduka scores for the Boro. Mark Viduka puts it into the back of the net. In the midfield area, we've got Kevin Nolan, Gary Speed, Stelios as Boro inside the penalty of Jimmy Floyd. Hasselbank over the top of the goalkeeper, and Jimmy scored. Yes, he has. The ball in is the back of the net, and Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, who stole a march there, has opened up a 2-goal advantage between Boro and the Wanderers. Curled towards the Middlesbrough penalty area. Ehiyot can't quite get there, and there's a player goes down there. He's spotted something. He's given a penalty kick for a foul by Ugo Ehiyot inside the penalty area. And Okocha still waits, composes himself on the edge of the penalty area. Howard Webb blows the whistle. Okocha against Schwarzer. Okocha takes it, Mark Schwarzer saves it, comes back to Okocha, who scores.
Lucky man.
And that is lucky for Bolton. Every Bolton player, barring Jaskalainen, is in around the Middlesbrough penalty area, and it's a corner taken short. Work to Gardner, edge of the area. There's real danger here. Cross comes in, free header, Bolton back level through Roddy Jardy. A lot of white shirts being down in the goal. That's a terrific ball. Mark Viduka holding a player then. Viduka finds Yakubu. Yakubu approaching the penalty. Puts a great looking ball. Score! Boro scored! And it's Stuart Barnaby! And what is he doing inside the 6-yard box in the last 30 seconds? But who cares?
After late drama at the Riverside, the squad travelled to Basel in confident mood, but the Swiss had clearly done their homework. So not only a first leg deficit, but also the pain of losing Emmanuel Pogatetz for the rest of the season. But back now to the Premiership, and the city of Manchester Stadium was a scene of high drama at the end of the last campaign, and Boro arrived in the northwest looking for a boost ahead of the return with Basel. Lee Cattermole was back after suspension, and the teenager was to go in search of his first goal for his club. The Riverside was now ready to host the UEFA Cup quarter-final, and with a 2-goal lead from the first leg, Basel were the favourites. But Boro were about to produce a night of cup magic.
Here comes the free kick into the penalty area, headed down right across the face of goal. On Basel have scored, and it's Eduardo who's come in. Eduardo who's got the goal for Basel. Kudra, halfway line area, throws into the direction of Mark Viduka. Viduka touched it on, Yakubu, strike partner after it, and here goes Mark Viduka, running towards the penalty area, inside the penalty area. Goal! There is hope, there is hope! Mark Viduka with an awesome shot, lashes it into the back of the net. The Riverside erupts, and Boro have just a finger hold on the route to recovery. Boro 1, Basel 1. Incredible power from Viduka. Downing wants it quickly on the left wing. Downing level with the edge of his own penalty area. Downing deep inside his own half of the field. Comes towards the halfway line, and Yakubu then. Good strength, Yakubu. Looks to link in with Viduka. The goalkeeper's come a long way. Viduka around the goalkeeper. Viduka scores! Mark Viduka! The Riverside erupts like Vesuvius here. All of a sudden, Boro are starting to believe. Close to the corner flag. Clearance only finds Rockenbach. Rockenbach then. Right-footed ball to George Boateng. Midway inside the Basel half of the field. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank wants it. Hasselbank thinks about the shot. Oh, it's a goal! Oh, Jimmy! A beauty, lad! Jimmy picks the top corner. It's 3-1 to the Boro. They need one more in the remaining 12 minutes. And the greatest comeback of all time will have been sealed. Viduka, a little back heel. Rockenbach couldn't get there. There was just too many white shirts. And Chris Riggett heads it on. Viduka leaps up there, and Basel just will do anything they can to clear their lines at the moment. Riggett, it's on the halfway line here. It's George Boateng territory. Yakubu raises his arm. Boateng lifts it in towards the direction of Yakubu. Chests it down. Hasselbank edge of the penalty area. It comes away with Rockenbach. Shot. The goalkeeper saves it. Macaroni. It's in! The greatest comeback since Lazarus! It's been completed! Massimo Macaroni! El Gladiatore! Magnificent! 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 My eyes do not believe what I'm seeing! But the Boro have come back from the dead! And they're leading here 4-1! Oh, goodness gracious me! Macaroni gets booed for taking his shirt off! He can take the lot off!
After such an emotional rollercoaster, it was always going to be tough to reproduce the performance in the next league game. And the side went into the derby with Newcastle United, also disappointed with the news that Gais Comendieta's season was over after breaking a foot in training.
Carr, Solano, back to Carr again. Good play by Newcastle inside the penalty area. A chance for Amiobi to get his shot away. Newcastle United have scored again just before half-time. They've opened up a 2-goal gap between themselves and the Boro. Rockenbach chips the free kick for Mark Viduka, chests it back. Boateng gets his shot away. Goal! George Boateng gives hope in the derby. A terrific volley from George.
Just before the Easter programme, Boro and Charlton met in the FA Cup quarter-final replay for the right to play West Ham United in the semi-final.
As Rockenbach from range, Rockenbach hits it through a crowd, it's in the net! Rockenbach scores! An absolute fabulous goal from Rocky! He comes towards the west stand. Thomas Meyer looks to the heavens, but it was a goal created from the heavens.
We weren't in the game.
No, we weren't. But hang on a minute, inside the penalty area. Shot past Mark Schwarzer. Charlton have the equaliser. Here we go, Morrison to Hasselbank, edge of the area. Hasselbank blocked to the last. It goes into the box, and Mark Viduka might be able to send away. In fact, Morrison's there. Shot goal, Boro back in the lead. And Boro back in the lead on the Riverside. And it's James Morrison who's got it. And Boateng plays on first time. No offside. Jimmy Floyd, Hasselbank. Hasselbank then with Morrison for company. And indeed, near side of play, Mark Viduka. It's James Morrison inside the area with Powell for company. Back to Hasselbank. Goal! Jimmy! You beauty, Jimmy! Hit it with very little backlift, but with awesome power. Thundered past Myra. And Boro could be thundering towards the semi-final at Villa Park. It's a right-footed delivery into the box. Mark Schwarzer, breathless save again, but it's gone in. And Charlton do have a goal. Hasselbank then with possession for Boro to the right for Parnaby. Parnaby plays it in towards Viduka in the penalty area. Mark Viduka to the turn. Still Mark Viduka. Still Mark Viduka. Oh, magnificent Mark Viduka! That surely is it. Mark Viduka, absolute magic in the penalty area. He's a footballing genius in those positions.
With UEFA and FA Cup semi-finals to look forward to, the Boro now face 2 Premiership games in 3 days. The first was the long journey to the south coast to face Portsmouth. The squad was now being stretched to the limits, and the FA Cup dress rehearsal with West Ham United will give another member of the academy, David Wheater, his first Premiership start.
We're about 5 minutes away from half-time. Yet to get a goal. Macaroni Bates combining superbly. Bates tries to play back towards Hasselbank. Oh, that's a sweet finish from Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Thumps it under the despairing dive of goalkeeper Shaka Hislop. But it was all about the combination on the right-hand side. There's Macaroni winning it again, right-hand side of play. Great stuff. Cross inside the penalty area is overplayed. Picks up the Adam Johnson, left-hand side of the area. Johnson, round one, goes down. Is that a penalty? Yes, it is! Adam Johnson wins a penalty for the Boro. Newhall Gideon. This for 2-0. This for Massimo Macaroni. Now the referee whistles for the penalty. Massimo Macaroni. Slow, it goes, but it goes in the back of the net! Macaroni away to the right-hand side. Shaka Hislop couldn't keep it out.
Boro are now Romania bound for the semi-final first leg of Steaua Bucharest. From one semi-final to another, as Steve McLaren's side arrived at Villa Park for their FA Cup showdown with the Hammers. So FA Cup heartbreak and the fractured cheekbone suffered by Mark Schwarzer had Boro licking their wounds. The players had to pick themselves up quickly for the return game with Steaua. and they did that in style on a night that will go down in Boro folklore.
Here's Marin. Marin in field. Right for his shot. Brad Jones gets it, fumbles it. It's an opportunity for Stay to score, and they've got the away goal. And it's Nikolai Dika who scored in Bucharest. And Dika puts it into the back of the net. Corner kick into the box. Free headed down. Brad Jones gets it on the line, and it's somehow scrambled away. Is it another shot? It's in the back of the net. They've scored again. And it's Goyan who's got the goal. The tall number 3. It's 2-0 now, and Boro's night is collapsing at the Riverside. All around, there he is. Played long. The header goes high, but not particularly a good one. Here's Viduka. Macaroni in space. Macaroni inside the penalty area. Macaroni the angle. Hits the shot. Goal! Massimo Macaroni strikes it, and Boro possibly have some hope yet. It's Boro 1, it's Steyr 2, but the man who scored in the last minute against Basel has scored to lift the Riverside. Looks up, whips the ball into the box. The goalkeeper's a long way. Hasn't got the goal! Mark Viduka scored a powerful header. In comes the throw. Long, arcing one in the box. Riggett gets a little touch header in that one. Inside the penalty area it is now. Stewie Downing at the angle. Downing hits it, drills it, goes out. It's in! It's in! Boro scored! The Boro have scored! The Boro have scored! Headed out though, as far as Frank Cadreur. Cadreur into the gap. Mark Viduka inside the penalty area.
First time
Finds Downing. Downing tees it into the box, and there's a host of people going for it. Cadreur heads it down. Hasselbank, edge of the area, goes down. No free kick is given. Jimmy's still on the floor. But here's Stewie Downing. Downing then. Downing running beyond the fullback. Whips a great looking ball in. Header. Goal! Massimo Macaroni! Massimo Macaroni! Macaroni's header! And Boro have struck a stick to the heart of Dracula's boys! And it could be Eindhoven time!
So with the UEFA Cup final to look forward to, ahead of Eindhoven there were still 4 Premiership games to fit in, starting with the final home league game of the season against Everton. Three away games now to round off the campaign, and at Old Trafford, Boro would be worthy of their point.
And Giggs will swing the one into a crowded penalty area. Left footed goes in now, and that looked like somebody used an arm there. It's a handball, it's a penalty kick. The corner kick came in. Cadamol used his arm, and Manchester United, after being outplayed for the majority of this game, have a penalty in front of the Stretford end.
There was no doubt, it was a good corner. It was actually 2 hands.
Can Brad Jones be a Boro hero in Manchester? Van Nistelrooy takes it, saved by Brad Jones. Terrific, Brad Jones! Brad Jones dived away to his right, guessed right, and has produced a spectacular block. Well done, the young Aussie.
And now to the Reebok. Adam Johnson is yet another homegrown talent who looks set for a big future. He'd also shown eye for goal, as again Boro would battle for their draw.
Into the second half, still a stalemate at the Reebok, but here's Adam Johnson. Great finish from the young winger. Adam Johnson puts Middlesbrough in the lead, and he enjoyed that moment thoroughly. Wanderers on the right-hand side. Cross comes towards Vazte's header, and it's all tied up at the Reebok.
The final league game took place at Craven Cottage and would provide a link between a great Boro servant and the young stars who would surely ensure that local talent is the cornerstone of future success. The academy system under the management of Dave Parnaby is the envy of the Premiership, and at one stage at Fulham all 11 players would be from the youth system. Lee Cattermole became Boro's youngest captain, but the game would also mark the end of Colin Cooper's playing career. Coop's links with the Boro go back to 1984, and in 2 spells on Teesside established himself as a true Boro legend. Colin's 400th appearance would be his last, and fittingly he would end wearing, thanks to Catamol, the captain's armband.
Or a free kick, edge of the box. Johnson takes it, Niemi saves it away to his right-hand side. Good goalkeeping, good free kick. Into the second half then, and Danny Graham takes him in an interesting position. Graham at the angle, and the goalkeeper Niemi again denies the Boro. Into the final 10 minutes, a long ball, final league game of the season. David Wheater's got the wrong side of Helgeson. Does he bring him down? Well, the referee's pointed to the spot, and that's desperately disappointing for the youngster. David Wheater, he did get the wrong side, and Helgeson now from the spot takes the penalty and scores for Fulham. Heartbreak on the final day for Boro, 1-0 to the Cottagers.
Before the UEFA Cup final, Steve McClaren was installed as the new manager of England. Steve will officially take over on the 1st of August from Sven-Göran Eriksson after the World Cup finals in Germany. It was an astonishing turnaround in Mac's fortunes after the dark days of winter and the heavy defeat at home to Aston Villa. But in his time at the Riverside, he had guided the club to 2 FA Cup semi-finals, a UEFA Cup final, the highest ever Premiership finish, and put the Carling Cup in the Boro Trophy cabinet. Rightly billed as the biggest game in the history of the Boro, the UEFA Cup final against Sevilla of Spain will be played out on a warm night in Holland. It was Steve McClaren's 250th and final game as manager of Middlesbrough Football Club.
There's Daniel Alves, a right-footed ball curling into the penalty area, header, and it's gone in. Sevilla have scored. Sevilla have scored, and the cross came in, and Fabiano it was reacting, heads the ball down, and the number 10 for Sevilla has put Sevilla into the lead. Free kick, Chris Riggett will attack it, Riggett's underneath it, heads it in, must be, oh the goalkeeper makes a save as Mark Viduka took him, and that was a terrific save by Palop. Here's Magaroni'd up, square ball Boateng, up to Mark Viduka, back to Rockenbach. Through the midfield area, weaving his way. Little reverse ball for Jimmy Floyd Hasbank. Then it goes to Macaroni. Macaroni kills in. Oh, Mark Viduka goes down. That seemed a poor challenge indeed by Navarro.
I have seen them given. McClaren looks and blows and thinks, come on. It was a great ball in. Viduka's well positioned. He's just on the edge of the 6-yard box, inside right. And the lad, he's actually ahead of the back of his head.
Here's a break. Monesca plays it to the right-hand side of the box, inside the penalty area. The white shirts everywhere. Well, Canuti, great save, Mark Schwarzer, but he can't get it the second time. It's put in, and it's put in by Moresca. Taken short. Be swung in. Will it be swung in? In fact, it's edge of the area stuff. Still, Sevilla looking for a third goal. Stacked up to Canuti. Headed clear edge of the box. That shot deflects. Oh, and it's gone the back of the net. It's 3. It is 3 now for Sevilla. And Boro's dreams of UEFA Cup glory have come to an end in Eindhoven. 60 seconds, the stoppage time left here in Eindhoven. Final of the UEFA Cup is being decided with Spain. And Moresca on a hat-trick inside the box, outside the boot, saved by Schwarzer. Canuti puts it in, and Canuti scored, and it's 4-0 to Seville.
The pain of defeat was hard to bear, but for a small town in Europe to have reached a major final was a wonderful achievement for everyone at the club, and the fans, well, they were a credit to the area. The Premier League season was a disappointment though, as finished in 14th place with 45 points, but possibly the demands of a campaign that contained in total 64 games was a contributory factor. Yakubu finished as top scorer with 19 goals in his first season at the club. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank returned to top form in 2006 and contributed 17. Mark Viduka also made his mark with a return of 15 goals. The development of the young players from the academy was a real bonus, and under new manager Gareth Southgate, they will continue to be given a chance to shine in season 2006-2007. So season 2005-2006 was to be the final year of the MAC, and despite not rounding it off with a trophy, the campaign produced some great games that will still be talked about for many seasons to come.